It's December, and depending on the holidays you celebrate and whether or not you have kids, they have probably made a list and checked it twice. It might include robotic toys, a new smartphone, or Star Wars anything. But what they probably didn't write is, "Dear Santa, I would like an investment in my future." They definitely didn't write that. 15 years from now, 10 years from now, they may wish they had written that, though. My next guest has a list of financial gifts you can give your kids this year. Tim Cestnick is Managing Director of Advanced Wealth Planning. Thank you for being here. Let's start with that old chestnut.
Sure.
The RESP. A guaranteed return of 20%. What's not to love?
Yeah. You know, if you're going to save for a child's education or a grandchild's education, this is the first thing you need to think about: is a registered education savings plan. It's a plan that you can invest up to $50,000 in for each child over the course of their lifetime. But what you want to do is really think about doing it every year, a little bit every year, because along with your contributions comes a 20% grant from the government, up to $500 every year. So a $2,500 contribution will get you the maximum grants each year. And oddly enough, if you look at the math behind it, $2,500 a year from the time a child is born up until they're ready to go to university will be probably just about the right amount of money.
Right, around $92,000 if you max it out and you get a return of about 6%. Now you want to, if you're going to get that return, it needs to be in a low-fee mutual fund and not in a scholarship trust.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to find a more of a family type or an individual type plan, RESP, that will let you choose from a variety of different types of investments, and you want to be in control of those investments and choose something that's proven. You want to start off with equities in the younger years, and as the kids get older, close to that day when they're going to be moving on to school, then you look at dialing down the risk.
The kids unwrap that and they think, I don't like that so much. They might like this one more. Transfer or purchase securities for an adult child. At least they can open up a certificate, or you can make one up on your computer at home.
Yeah, the idea here is if you've got a portfolio, maybe some of those investments have actually dropped in value. Maybe you like the stock still, but what you could consider doing is transfer them to an account in the name of your adult child. You can claim the capital loss when you do that, actually, because you're deemed to have sold the investment at its value when you make that transfer. So if it's gone up in value and you transfer it to your child, you might also trigger tax.
Right.
So be careful.
So would you say don't do that? Don't transfer it if there's a gain?
I prefer for stocks that have dropped in value. That's where you want to claim the loss if you can, and then watch the kids.
Doesn't it feel a little like you're giving kids your hand-me-down shoes?
Depends
you're
if you
some crappy company, but I'm going to take a loss on it.
But if you like the future, then it's all good. So and it's going to teach the child something about investing, right? You need to teach them about something. They're not learning that anywhere else.
Right.
So if you can teach them.
All right. Number 3, set up an Intrust account for minors. What's this look like?
So this is when you open up an investment account. Really, it's in your name, but in trust for your child. Now, it's an informal trust arrangement, and what that means is that you can put money inside this account every year, and any capital gains or any capital growth on that account over the years can be taxed in the hands of your child and not in your hands, which allows you to grow probably the assets more quickly, because your kids aren't going to pay any tax if they haven't got any other income.
Right.
And again, when it gets to a point where they're now 18 years of age, the assets do become theirs. They may not realize that, and they may have, and you will have to at some point give control of those assets over to them.
But lord it over them for a while and make them do things like not smoke.
And you still have moral suasion, right?
Yeah.
So you can
I
control.
could change my mind.
That's it. Yeah.
Now with that seems to fit within the broader context of estate planning.
Yeah, I mean, if you could transfer assets to your kids over the course of time, obviously if you die broke, that's the situation where you're going to pay no tax when you pass away.
Right.
You have to keep enough for yourself. Make sure you do that.
Yeah.
But certainly transferring assets over the course of time can make really good sense.
This fourth one surprised me. It is buy insurance on the life of your child, and it surprised me in that I think of insurance as protection against a calamity. I rarely like it when it's for investment purposes because of fees and complexity.
Sure.
Why do you like it?
Well, I've done this for my own kids, and an insurance policy, if it's a permanent policy like a whole life policy, which is what I would choose, does offer growth inside the policy. You can build up investments on a tax-sheltered basis, similar to an RSP, similar to a RIF. And over the course of time, there are some guaranteed returns in there as well. But over the course of time, we're finding returns today in the neighborhood of 5-6%, and it's all tax-free. Once the child is 18 years of age or older, I can transfer that policy to my child. They can take ownership of it. And that means they'll now own all the investments inside there as well. And it all happens tax-free.
But why do that over the Intrust account? What's the advantage over an Intrust account?
It's just different. It's just a different type of asset class, if you will. Insurance, particularly whole life insurance, offers a very, very fixed income like risk on it, but it's but it's tax-free growth, tax sheltered. So it's like a 5% tax-free rate of return you can get inside a life insurance policy. We've done this so that when my children eventually go to school one day and they're old enough, I'll transfer the policy to them. That's a tax-free transfer if I'm insuring their life. They get it tax-free. So I'm moving assets from my name to their name tax-free, which you can't do necessarily with other assets.
Number 5, establish a family foundation. You don't have to be Buffett or Gates to do this.
No, you don't. It works if you have charitable intentions. You want to pass those values on to your children. Involving them in the giving process can make a lot of sense. So you can set up a private foundation, which does take more dollars, or you can go to any number of public foundations, like your local community foundation, for example, and set up your own family's foundation within their foundation. You contribute to it on an annual basis, and then work with the kids to help decide where that money gets distributed out to. Great way to pass values along.
With these ideas, have you actually put any of these under the tree or in a Hanukkah gift or whatever it is that you celebrate?
A little envelope with a description of what we're doing.
And your kids go, Dad,
Yeah. Where's the Lego?
Where's the Lego? Give me some Lego. Tim, thanks very much.
Thanks.